A captivating lyricist hailing from the heart of Johannesburg, Rudy Chalmers has emerged as a groundbreaking force in the world of music, seamlessly blending soul, funk and R&B into a rich mosaic of sonic enchantment. Wow! Now, who am I talking about? The son of the late television presenter Vuyo Mbuli and media mogul Savita Mbuli. Rudy's artistic journey is deeply rooted in the rich cultural tapestry of his family. Now, Rudy's journey into the realm of musical expression began with the soulful resonance of his debut hip-hop mixtape, Fears and Fantasies. It was released with an intimate rawness that felt like a personal letter to his own aspirations. The mixtape marked the genesis of Rudy's distinctive artistic voice. So really looking forward to talking to him and finding out a little bit more about him. And here he is in studio with us. I cannot believe I'm looking at you like this. When did you become so big?
These things, they happen over the years.
They do, they happen. Hey, yeah. I suppose that's life.
Exactly. It's almost like you don't feel it happening and then it happens all at once.
Was music always something you wanted to do?
Yes. I think for the longest time, it was something that made me feel just really safe. And it made me feel, it was something that sparked my curiosity really early on. Yeah. Like I remember when my dad used to get to interview Mandoza or, a big music star, I would always want to be there and around him and just feel what it was like being around people who were making music.
Yeah, so that was a passion of yours. And were you always singing? I mean, I know your dad always used to try and sing.
Yeah.
He certainly did. I'm not sure he was the greatest singer alive, but you were sort of obviously someone that just loved singing and did it from when you were young.
Yeah, so I was also a bit late to singing, actually. I was a bit scared of the singing experience because I was more comfortable in writing lyrics and rapping and almost like speaking in a more poetic way. And when I started singing, it was a nervous excitement. I felt like I was doing something good, but like a little bit nervous about how it was sounding because I think my singing style is quite unique. But as I did it more and more and started doing it in front of people and getting a positive reception from them, I sort of, trusted that gut instinct and kept going with it.
That's so nice. I'm so glad that you're living out a dream, a passion, and you're just seeing where it goes. And I can't wait to hear you. I mean, I obviously follow your career and I've seen you performing on your Instagram page, and I know you're quite big on social media, but to actually see you now doing it, I'm really looking forward to it. I want to ask you a little bit about how life has been. I mean, it's been tough, I imagine, since the passing of your dad. And then you were still at school at the time. You were this little boy going through a really tough time. Was a lot of what we see coming through in your music, almost in a way, I introduced you as poetic and a lot of feelings that are in here. Does this come through in your music?
Absolutely. There's you made reference to one of my first mixtape that I put out, Fears and Fantasies, and there's actually a song dedicated to my dad on that mixtape. Yeah. So I think music has been a real way for me to deal with my emotions and express my feelings. And I think the beautiful thing about a song when you write one is that the message you're trying to convey is encapsulated in those 3 or 4 minutes that you wrote it in. Your feelings, you can kind of bow tie them and just put them into words and lay them on a beat and have your emotions in that moment and sort of be able to revisit that. So I think, life has been, it's been life, it's been a journey. It's been a wonderful journey. And I think I still feel my dad just around. And when I try and dream, because he was the biggest dreamer I knew. Yeah. When I try and make things happen and go with my gut instinct, I think I feel his presence around still. Yeah.
I can only imagine. I mean, I look at you and I'm looking into your dad's eyes. It's actually scary. Do you get that a lot?
I do hear that quite often, and it's a beautiful thing for me to hear because I think I love, reminding people of him in a way, or being able to carry on a part of his legacy in something I want to try.
And the name Chalmers.
Chalmers.
That was your dad.
Exactly. That was him. He's the original Chalmers. So whenever people ask me about where the name came from, I say that I always wanted to have a piece of my dad with me while chasing my dreams.
Listen, so, I saw your mom now. So she's here, she's with you. Obviously your biggest fan, no doubt.
Yes,
I can only imagine that she's by your side through this all. As a parent, I know taking my kid into the world of music is not necessarily the easiest thing in the world. We would love you to just become doctors and lawyers and accountants, and then we don't have to worry about you.
Exactly.
But moving into the arts is sort of a difficult decision to make.
Yeah.
How was that, to make that decision?
I think it was also a process. It was at the end of matric, I said to her, Mom, I want to pursue music full time. And she said, okay, let's start with university and let's get you a degree. And once you have a degree, then I'll give you the space to do that. So I did go to university and I got myself a degree in politics and philosophy. And I think while I was at university, I was still determined to make music and share it. And that's what I started doing. And I think when she started witnessing the progression and started hearing the sound, and some of her friends would also enjoy my music and play it, I think she realized that it was something that I could pursue. And I think she can see that I just really love to do it. So it makes me happy, and I think she wants me to be happy. So we got to a point where now she's behind me.
She's buying into it.
Yeah.
She's kind of thinking, I think this kid's got some talent. I
Exactly.
think there might be something here.
Yeah.
But I've seen you performing in different small venues around the country, because you've got to start. This is how it all begins, and you've got this. I mean, you call it what do you call it? A tape? I'm trying to go back in.
Mixtape.
A mixtape.
Yes.
I remember giving that to like a boyfriend in high school.
Yeah.
What do you know about mixtapes?
I mean, look, it's 2024 now, so everything is digitized, and I think you can call something whatever you want to call
I suppose
it.
you're right.
Yeah, so I think the mixtape term comes from the length of it and it not being an album. So usually people put out EPs now, which is like an extended play, but those are usually 6 tracks. So that mixtape was 10 songs. So that's why I called it a mixtape.
Brilliant. So some of the reactions from audiences, I mean, we're listening to your voice in the background. What a beautiful voice. It is so soulful. It's so, I don't even know how to describe it.
Yeah.
How do you describe your music?
That's the thing that I struggle with, and I think I enjoy struggling with. But I'm now trying to hone in on, like what you said, soul.
Yeah.
And I think soul is a beautiful umbrella of music. Like R&B fits into soul, jazz fits into soul, funk fits into soul. So I think I want to have a lot of different influences under the soul umbrella, but I usually describe my music as happy music and music that I'm trying to make people smile and dance and enjoy themselves.
And feel good, and that's really what it's all about, is going out there, living a dream, feeling good, and trying to make the most of yourself, which I'm so excited about. So we're going to be hearing from you. You're going to play us out. But in terms of finding your music, is it on streaming? Obviously, we can find it all over. How do we get hold of it?
Yes, you can find it all over. You can find it on Apple Music, on Spotify, on YouTube Music. I haven't released any hard copies as yet, but I think I will do that in the future as well.
Yeah.
Probably in the shape of vinyls rather than CDs, but as of right now, just digitally.
Yeah.
You can find me on all streaming platforms and on social media.
This beautiful old soul trapped in such a young, gorgeous body. Look at you.
Thank you.
I love it. Wanting to bring out a good old vinyl. I love it.
Yeah.
And it's called a mixtape. What more could you ask for? Mbuli, which is not what we call him anymore. Do the family still call you?
Yes.
So
yes,
they
yes,
do.
yes,
Okay,
yes,
good.
yes, yes.
But it's Rudy Chalmers now,
Yeah.
speaking to us about his musical journey